So the longest tempo run since COVID, how did I get on? Did it go to plan? Well, yes and no. I wish I'd have looked at the weather forecast before I went out. 11 miles per hour winds for about 6 miles of it, running straight into the headwind. Plan was to stick to my kind of tempo pace. How to work out that tempo pace? Well, it's around about 85% of your maximum heart rate. Obviously your threshold is around about 90% of your maximum, and you can work out your maximum just by doing 2 to 3 minutes hard, rest for the same period of time, 2 to 3 minutes hard. And I knew I'd reach my maximum on a track session because after the 200 meters, it felt like my heart was just about to come up my chest like John Hurt in Alien. And I think from memory, I will double put it on the screen if I get it wrong. I think it's about 184, which, you know, yes, that's quite high for my age, but, you know, we are quite different. My watch today, as I say, I was using the old chest monitor, and because of the wind, it was difficult to get to the paces that I wanted to get to at my tempo pace. You saw my video the other day saying that does technology hold you back in all these stats, heart rate, you know, does it stress you out if you concentrate on too much? And today, technology let me down. So that kind of proved me right. The watch, it was said I was getting up to my kind of more threshold. So it was getting the kind of 165 upwards into the wind. And then all of a sudden, when I was about, I think about 3-4 miles in, they said it was a 120, which, you know, is ludicrous. So after that, I just thought, you know, I'm just going to run it on feel. So let's just quickly go through the miles, and there's some other bits I want to talk about. Obviously my Endorphin Pro 2, it's first time in the long run, and some products that I've been testing over the last couple of weeks that I wanted to share with you. So the first mile was 7:28, you know, that was the warm up, just getting my muscles kind of loosened up. 7:04, 7:09, and then we're into the wind. Full on headwind. Yes, I had it a bit before, but not to the point where, you know, the kind of 11 miles an hour. 7:31, 7:17, 7:25, and then I kind of turned around and went back. And then for that first, I think for 100 meters, the wind was in my face again. I'm like, how is that possible? But it always seems to happen, doesn't it? Does that always happen to you? Let me know in the comments. You know, regardless of where you're running, you always got wind in your face. How does that work? Don't know. Anyway, so back on the run, on the way back, was running on kind of feel, felt kind of happy around the kind of 7:20, 7:10. So the next mile was 7:10. Started to get relaxed, and then started dipping just below 7. I think it was 7, late 650s, and that's when I thought, I feel my lactate building. So I looked at my watch and it was at 169 beats per minute, which is my lactate threshold. So obviously my heart rate was, or the heart rate monitor was working then, and my heart was obviously working harder. And then the last mile was 7:10. So I only ended up doing 9 miles because I want to be at the stage where, you know, I'm listening to my body and I don't want to push myself and then just walk the last mile back. The only reason I wore this is because, you know, it was my longest run doing a tempo effort, and just for safety, just to make sure that I'm not pushing myself more than I need to. So how was the Endorphin Pro 2 on the long run? Really enjoyable, very comfortable, no hot spots, no rubbing, no blisters, very nice and cushioned in the kind of midfoot area. Some people say that they find it a bit hard compared to the Speed 2s. For me, it's kind of perfect. Not the poppiest shoe. When in poppiest, it doesn't kind of push you off. It's more of that kind of rolling effects off the roller at the front, and it's more of a kind of smooth transition. For me, a shoe I think suited maybe 10 miles kind of upwards. But if I was to go for a 5k or 10k, I would go for these, the Flame 361. These are an awesome shoe. Feel very lightweight on foot, very poppy. Clearly a great shoe that just needs to be, you know, picked up and noticed by more people, you know, because people tend to stick to the normal brands, you know, your Nikes, your Sauconys, your Adidas, etc. So definitely a shoe that I'd recommend, and still one of my favourite shoes. Also, I'm a long run today. You know, it was 22 degrees, weren't as humid as it was yesterday, and I think it's important to take some sort of hydration with you. I was lucky enough that there's a local supplier near me that provides these Juszt active bottles, and she dropped some around my house to test. Toxic free, recycled product, and not had any issues with these with kind of leaking, black mold, like some of the other bottles. And with this size, you know, it's perfect just to hold in your hand when you're running. Today I had it in a kind of flip belt, so you can't really see it. You can get 2 of these for $12.99. She said that she's looking to do a 500ml bottle, which would be great for you trail runners, you know, just to put in there. But these are perfect. I say perfect just to hold when you're running, and then when you finish, kind of just fold it up, put it in your pocket. So how's my training been going this week? Well, it's actually been going quite well. I've done a mix runs between slower, faster runs just to see how I was doing. Wednesday I went out on a 9-mile run, averaged at 7:30 pace and just felt amazing. Had to keep on slowing myself down. Friday went out for another run, not so great. I think it was about 9 miles again, but it was just really humid and didn't really enjoy it. So how's your training been going? Let me know down in the comments. It feels good to be back running. Not on my best yet, but definitely I'm on the upwards trajectory, as we call it. So as always, I will speak to you soon. Onwards and upwards. Cheers!